This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Hello, good morning, welcome on. It's First Alert Weather Breakdown time. I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason. Thank you very much for joining us here for the day today. How about it? It is Friday. Hope you are having a good one here for the day today. First of all, I do want to say, before we lead ourselves into more of the talk on what's going on here for this weather podcast, just sorry for running about 2 to 3 minutes late. The desk just didn't decide to work for the first minute or two. We had to reboot some things, rework some things, but hey, we are finally back on track here for the day today. Again, I'm meteorologist Evan Thompson. Thank you very much for coming on to the stream where we are, hyping up a beautiful weekend for you ahead. Hopefully, you are enjoying everything out and around here this weekend. It's a great time to get out and about. Lots of different activities going on here across this weekend, and hey, for good measure, it is going to be, again, a great one weather-wise for you to enjoy out and around town here for you. So, again, we are having a beautiful weekend up and coming throughout the Arklatex. We got Crew Centaur running tomorrow. We've got, let's see what else. I think we have an African-American parade running that's honors Black History Month here for tomorrow, too, in downtown Shreveport. After that, we also have Sunday festivities, all surrounding probably the Super Bowl, which is in 2 days as well. So, lots happening out and around the weekend, and it's a good time to have like a barbecue out for Super Bowl Sunday, too, because of how incredibly warm the temperatures are going to be, well above their average here for you, here for this coming weekend. So, yep. Sorry, I'm just getting some last-minute things still done because the computer had to be rebooted here at this very time. So, let's get into the actual rundown here for you, what we're getting at here for the day today. Again, we are warming up. That's the biggest message I have for you across the next several days. We are warming up with some, we're talking like something beyond even T-shirt and shorts weather. Point is, you might even be breaking a sweat here later on today, as we are tracking out your local and regional forecasts, both for the weekend ahead. So, yeah, that is going to be a pleasant one at that as well. So, on top of tracking out the beautiful weekend here locally, we're going to see if that mark kind of stands true into your regional outlook as well. Now, what I mean by regional is tracking out the forecast for those of you traveling out to like Dallas, New Orleans, Little Rock here for you coming on up. So, yeah. Let's see here. I just need to get one more thing together, and we'll be good to go. We're tracking your local and regional. Okay, we are good to go. So let's go on over into, I've got to do a bunch of moving parts behind the scenes. There we go. Live look out in the downtown Shreveport. We're going to go ahead and start the full local forecast first, and then we'll go into a regional forecast for you ahead here for you. So a beautiful live look into downtown Shreveport there. Bright, beautiful blue skies and sunshine again. There's not much in terms of, first of all, there's no rain out and around the Arklatex certainly, but there's barely any cloud cover to mention whatsoever either. That's going to be the case here for both today and tomorrow. I think the only clouds that are going to be showing up across the next 3 days are going to come on Sunday, but even then, it's not going to bring us any chance of rain here for you coming on ahead. All right, moving on into Texarkana now. Beautiful blue skies and sunshine also out into there here for your pleasant weekend. Again, feeling a lot more comfortable in throughout the region here for you. Much warmer here for the day today. And in fact, I really think the temperatures here for this afternoon going to be probably the warmest the warmest ones that we've seen so far this year for 2026, which I know is not saying much. Obviously, we still have summer coming up, but it's still going to be very impressive here, especially the turnaround from yesterday where we had highs only in the 60s. Highs are increasing by a good bit, even more than that here for the day today. Then we still have a warm weekend. I think temperatures do tailor off and do cool off a little bit more into the weekend compared to that of Friday here for the day today. But it would still describe the weekend, especially in February standards, as a warm one here for you. with still plentiful sunshine all around. We don't deal with rain until next week. We do want to get to that forecast still within this discussion here in the full First Alert with a Breakdown podcast here for you. But again, this is not going to be as much of a concern. Rain is not a concern at all until we get into next week. Just, temperatures out right now, 63 into Shreveport, 66 into Texarkana. We're going to be tracking this all day long today, 63 into Natchitoches. It is already 69, though, in Marshall. That is impressive for 10:30 on a February morning. These were about the high temperatures yesterday, and we've already reached that at 10:30 here today. Point of being, we have 6 more hours to still continue to warm things up here later on today, and that is probably going to be the most impressive thing, because check out these temps. Look at them. They'll get up into the upper 70s, yes, even lower 80s in store for the afternoon. Definitely by lunchtime, we are into the 70s. It's going to be great. Look at that, kind of the highs and lows over the next couple days more thoroughly in just a moment. Let's show you kind of what's happening here overall. We have a cold front. Actually, before I zoom in, I meant to talk more about this kind of picture here for you. Here's the cold front. This is on the doorstep of the Arklatex here for you. This is stretching all the way. This is a pretty massive cold front in size, that is. Not as much in power. It's a cold front that stretches all the way up to the north and the east, and this is carrying a good amount of moisture with it from the Great Lakes, actually, where we're actually getting some snow and some mixed precipitation in the areas of the northwest corner of the United States with this same cold front. But it's still a weak system overall because it is completely dry in the rest of the cold front here, and including the part which is hitting the Arklatex here for you. So no rain is expected from the system that's hitting us tonight at all. All this is going to do is essentially drop the temperatures. It is incredibly warm today, very warm, especially because we're piling in the cold fronts love to do this. They just love to pile in they love to pile in very, very warm air, just packed in right before a cold front hits for like a day or so. And then the cold front comes on down and cools us off, which we will feel tomorrow here for your Saturday. Today is the day where we're piling on the certainly very warm temperatures. Again, these are high temperatures expected all around the Arklatex. Even areas in the northern end of the region are still reaching the lower 80s. Up by Texarkana, New Boston, Hope, everywhere. Everybody's probably reaching around 80 here for this afternoon. That's the case across most of East Texas, and the same thing for the most part across northeast Louisiana. If anything, maybe upper 70s in spots like Natchitoches and Homer, but I think you get the point of where we're going here for the day today. We're breaking a sweat here for your Friday. Now, let's tell you how the rest of the weekend works out, because this is the only thing that's going to change over the weekend is the temperature outlook. We are nice and dry today, tomorrow, and Sunday. The full weekend outlook is looking bone dry here for you to enjoy your weekend plan. So this is the only thing to stay aware about weather-wise. It's just the little change in temperature that we have day in and day out. Because we have various highs across the next 3 days. Highs are around 80 today. Then the biggest drop comes for tomorrow. Behind that cold front, a high of 67 only for tomorrow. It's still warmer than average. This is not like an Arctic plunge of air where we're getting highs down in the 40s and 50s. That is not happening. But it will be certainly cooler, and you'll probably need some sleeves out throughout your Saturday here for you for the first half of the weekend. Then we warm back on up into Sunday, or we'll have highs a little more evened out in the mid-70s here. Not just for Sunday, but most of those highs could even look to carry on into next week. You'll see Monday and Tuesday, highs still in the low to mid-70s carrying on through that day. So, yeah, just look out for that temperature drop here for tomorrow. And, I mean, it's Saturday still close to T-shirt and shorts weather, and it's still well above average, but it's certainly a drop-off for a temperature, especially compared to what we're getting this afternoon. So if you're working outside today, running errands today, out and around, make sure you have the AC on here, certainly. All right, so for morning low temperatures, again, it's also, this is kind of going to be an underlying feature here for you, especially because I know most of the hype's behind just the warm temperatures in the afternoon, but I don't want this to get discarded either. These morning low temperatures are going to get surprisingly warm, especially into next week. Still got temperatures in the mornings across the 40s here for the start to your Saturday and Sunday. So still chilly, not the most cold, but still a little chilly, and for those mornings there for your weekend. But then turn the page into next work week, and you're seeing these 50s and 60s only showing up here to start off your mornings for multiple mornings of next work week. That means you don't need the heavy coat on the way out the door. Here to start off, say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're waking up to 50s, and yes, again, just lower 60s. And for your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's kind of like hoodie weather, light jacket weather. That is certainly not heavy coat weather by any means. in throughout next week, which is impressive for a February week still in the Arklatex. All right, let's talk about the skies more. Future track. Let's go over the short term and confirm with you that not much is going to happen this weekend. Throughout the rest of your Friday, we're not going to see even cloud cover happen, so no rain. I think that goes self-explanatory here for the day today. It's a similar outlook here for your Saturday. Sunday is the only change across the weekend with the skies, and that's when we start to bring back in some cloud cover, a little bit of some moisture back into the equation. If you notice, though, no green is showing up. It's still not going to rain on Sunday at all. Just going to have some passing clouds to provide you some pockets of shade. But we do stay dry again through the weekend. And then I meant to hold up. I realized I forgot a feature here. There we go. There it is. Tuesday, Wednesday. I meant to show that in the subtitle. Anyways, this is when rain comes back. This is our next major rain chance in the Arklatex if you are looking out for it. That's going to happen on Tuesday mostly. Maybe a little bit of it creeps into Wednesday morning. I'm still watching out for a little corner of Wednesday that could hold in a chance of rain too. But I think the majority of this system is starting to get I wouldn't say just about close to finalized for it to come in on now Tuesday, which is, if I count correctly, 4 or 5 days away here for you. Thankfully, no severe weather threat. Most of what our weather models are showing up as is just light to moderate rainfall coming in, kind of similar to the system that happened this past Tuesday. Similar to that, where we're expecting no severe weather threat. Obviously, it's only rainfall, no chance of winter precip by any means. And kind of the most surprising thing about the system, even though it's a round of storms coming on through, and that usually comes with a cool down, I don't think temperature is going to drop with this system behind this at all, which is kind of a little surprising when it comes to these kind of, again, systems that bring us rain. So here for the future track, again, today all the way through the weekend, nice and dry. Then cloud cover mainly returns here for Monday a lot more. It returns a little bit on Sunday, returns a lot more with more thorough cloudy skies, I think, for Monday. Then Tuesday is when the rain comes back. You see that on the future track here, and it comes back mostly, it looks like in the Tuesday afternoon here for you and Tuesday night. And as you see on this long-range future track, some stray showers try to still linger on into Wednesday maybe before definitely clearing out for the second half of next week. So that's the only round of storms that we're looking at over the next 7 days. To be fair, in the 12-day forecast, I do have my eyes on something that could happen. I want to stress this out with my verbiage. I'm looking out for a second separate system of, of rain that's going to happen not this weekend, but next weekend. I hope that makes sense. So we could have multiple rounds of storms within just a few days that we're watching out for next week. That's next week. Short term. Friday, weekend. Beautiful. Crew Centaur Parade. It's going to be the coolest out of the 3 days out of your kind of weekend festivities here for you. Again, temperatures are only in the 60s here throughout your Saturday. You probably want some sleeves there for it. It should be pleasant weather out and about, though. That's going to be fantastic to enjoy. Again, no rain chance at all through the weekend. Temperatures are slightly warmer in for your Sunday. They're in the mid-70s. Here is your full 7-day forecast here for you now. 80 today. Yeah, 80 again. Getting up to, or excuse me, I should say dropping to 67 there for your Saturday. And then temperatures pretty much even out in the 70s throughout Sunday and throughout next week. That's going to be really impressive. Just a warm February week there for you. And not only is it warm in the afternoons, it will be surprisingly warm in the mornings too. 50s, maybe getting down to 40s for Thursday morning, but we'll see. Overall, again, one rainy day throughout next work week. That's going to come on Tuesday. Maybe a stray shower lingering into Wednesday a little bit, but I think most of next week itself looks fairly dry. Again, this next system after Tuesday I'm watching out for is going to come the following weekend. That will be the weekend of February, I think it's 14th and 15th. Yeah, 14th and 15th. So I'll be watching out for that closer to the time frame, but yeah, don't have to worry about the umbrella until next work week after Crew Centaur. After Super Bowl Sunday. Both of those looking fantastic here for this coming weekend. All right. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back right after this, we're going to go over your regional travel forecast. Hey, it's beautiful here locally. We'll see if that's the case everywhere around here. We'll see. We'll catch you on the flip side and catch out that regional weekend travel forecast coming up after this. welcome on back. Welcome on back to the First Alert Weather Breakdown. I have a bad habit of talking before I actually unveil the graphic that goes back to me. I was about to say New Year's resolution, but it's February now. Anyways, point is, we're going to go over your regional weekend travel forecast. So those of you traveling outside of the Arklatex here for this weekend, hey, it's looking good here. It is also looking good around here. You don't see much in terms of cloud cover at all regionally across the Arklatex. If we zoom out and kind of confirm that here for you, as mentioned with the cold front that's hitting us in the Arklatex for the weekend, there you can kind of see the moisture up tucked into the northeast corner of the United States, further up towards that low pressure system, but that's only up near there. If you look at the whole southeast, it's nothing but abundant sunshine for us pretty much moving on in, because all of this is pretty much moving closer and closer to the East Coast. This shouldn't be dipping too much farther south in the time frame ahead. And we don't have anything too much on the horizon coming out of the west that's should be threatening our skies. So again, hey, radar, pretty much all locally is looking nice. The closest thing that we have is, again, the mixed showers that are up into Kentucky, West Virginia, a little bit of Virginia, but even though that's way out to our east. So check out the long-range future track here for you. In fact, I'll go ahead and hide my face because I know some of my face kind of catches in on the little bit of a portion of New Orleans and down by the coast there. So for the rest of your Friday, as mentioned, I think we get continued sunshine everywhere around here. And as we continue to see just rain chances and chances of precipitation, mainly farther up to the north and east. I'm kind of just going slowly through the timeline here. Maybe a little bit of cloud cover out to the west in Texas and Oklahoma for Saturday, but that's really all that we're seeing there. And then that creeps into the rest of the region here for Sunday with cloud cover. But again, it's cloud cover at best. This is not a major chance of rain in sight. Even through Sunday night, everything's still looking good. So if you're traveling anywhere around here, it should be fantastic. This is not just an Arklatex thing where we're catching in on the sunshine and nobody else is, but we've got sunshine from Dallas over to Jackson, west to east, and we've got sunshine from Little Rock all the way down to New Orleans. So wherever you're going out for this weekend, should be fantastic. Should be great to go, great to enjoy. Temperatures off in the 50s and lower 60s already out and about. That's currently for high temperatures today. It's going to ramp up, especially because most of that heat for the Arklatex is coming out of Texas. So even Dallas is catching in on highs up to the lower 80s here for the day today. Most of the rest of areas regionally are catching in on the 70s, especially the farther east you are, lower 70s out towards Jackson and New Orleans, only here for the day today. So I think most of this is just going to be tracking on the high temperatures across the weekend because, as mentioned, there's not going to be much to discuss rain-wise at all through the weekend. This is a perfect weekend to get out and about. High temperatures for Saturday get a little cooler for everybody, though. You see highs only in the 50s there for Little Rock, highs in the 60s from Monroe over to Jackson, and lower 60s at that. It's a little cooler out in the I-20 corridor. It's slightly warmer in spots at Dallas, but even they're cooling off to a high of 71 for Saturday after a high of 81 today for them. High of 64 there in New Orleans here for your Saturday. Then for Sunday, this is when we build up a little more cloud cover. And I wouldn't say cause for worry. This is the only change to our skies out of the next 3 days ahead is a little more cloud cover for spots like Dallas and Little Rock. I still think we get a good amount of sunshine, and for the rest of the region, even including the Arklatex here for you. Temperatures off in the mid-70s for Dallas there. Same thing for Houston. A little more 60s if you're out towards Little Rock, Jackson, and New Orleans as well. But all in all, no rain throughout the weekend. Maybe a little more gloomy again into Sunday, but that's it. That's it. It's a fantastic weekend wherever you're going, at least locally in the southeast. Again, if you're traveling maybe cross country, maybe it's not so good in the northeast, especially with the mixed precip up near there. And I think we got some chances of storms way out to the west corner, but the point is nothing hitting central or the southern portions of the United States at all, keeping us nice, high, and dry until we get our next system in for the Arklatex again, which doesn't really happen until the middle of next week. So should be good. All good to go. That's what we like to see here for you. Anyways, that's all I have for the First Alert Weather Breakdown here for the day today. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. For those of you watching YouTube, watching our KSLA.com live stream, wherever you're watching from, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you at the end of the day. It's a great day. Anyways, have a great Friday. Enjoy the weekend. It's going to be plentiful sunshine. Hey, that's all I'm talking about. I love all kinds of weather, but I mostly love sunshine, especially when you get to thoroughly enjoy Mardi Gras, and Super Bowl Sunday. That all packed into a weekend. That sounds absolutely amazing. So have a good one. Have a great one. Monday, 10:30. That'll be our next episode of the First Alert Weather Breakdown. CJ Cartledge should be your host on that day. Be there. Be square. And most importantly, hey, stay weather aware. Have a great rest of your day. And most importantly, have a great weekend. See ya.